Hey guys, welcome to day 1 of our Staying the Course series. Over the next 5 days, we're going to be talking about what does it mean to push through trials and challenges in our life to follow after God. Today, I'm going to start by reading out of Hebrews 12, verses 1 through 3. It says, "Let us throw off everything that hinders and the sin that so easily entangles us. And let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us, fixing our eyes on Jesus, the pioneer and perfecter of our faith. For the joy set before him, he endured the cross, scorning its shame, and sat down at the right hand of the throne of God. Consider him who endured such opposition from sinners, so that you will not grow weary and lose heart." We have a beautiful purpose created by God. And when we begin to walk out our purpose, we face obstacles because 1, we live in a broken world and God says that there's going to be persecution. And 2, we have an enemy who is against us and who is going to try and stop us in our walk with the Lord because he knows the lives that are going to change from it. It says, let us throw off everything that hinders us. These can be things like lies that we allow into our head, like we aren't good enough, or God can't actually use me, or what can I actually do to make an impact? So we have to trust that God can and will work in our life. And then we have to decide to run the race marked out by God and for our lives, and fix our eyes on Jesus. It says in this passage that he is the pioneer and perfecter of our faith. Jesus went through the cross. He went to the absolute ends to save us, and he endured it and is now sitting at the right hand of God. And in this passage it says, keep Jesus in mind whenever you come to challenges so that you will have endurance to push through, to stay the course. And so I just want to encourage you today that no matter what you might be facing, no matter what challenges are in your life, Jesus is with us. We can choose to walk with him and choose to follow God's plan for our lives. It will be amazing. It'll change your life and it'll change the people around you and teach them more about who God is. But when those challenges come, we have to know who to look to and who to draw our strength from. So with that, go ahead and grab your mat and your water and let's get started. Alright guys, we're going to get started today in a Shavasana pose, laying flat on our back, closing through the eyes, and just starting to begin our practice in a restful posture, tuning into the breath and taking a moment to be still. Today in our flow, we're going to be taking it slowly and gently, inviting the breath into every posture, and taking our time with the movements. So as we're here, let's take a deep breath in through the nose, filling up the body, and open mouth, exhale, release it out. Let's take that 2 more times all together. Inhale through the nose, feeling the chest and belly rise. Open mouth, exhale, release. And 1 more deep breath all together. Inhale, coming all the way to the top, holding for just a moment, and open mouth, exhale it out. Begin to wiggle through the fingers and the toes, finding some movement in the body, And then slowly draw the knees into the chest and give them a tight hug. Maybe it feels good to find a rock from side to side, massaging out the back. Inhale and exhale, press the knees forward, open them out to the sides, and then pull the knees back into the chest, taking some knee circles, moving slowly here, using the breath. Inhale and exhale. Taking one last circle, inhale and exhale, pulling the knees back into the chest, and then release the soles of the feet high, coming into a waterfall pose. So the hands either come out to a T, or maybe place one hand on the chest and one hand on the belly. Close the eyes and take a deep breath in. Exhale it out. One more deep breath here in our waterfall pose. Inhale and exhale. Bend the knees, grab onto the big toes, and come into happy baby posture. Opening up through the hips and the lower back. Maybe taking a rock from side to side if that feels good. Inhale. Exhale, pulling the knees a little bit closer down towards the ground. One more deep breath here. Inhale. And exhale, pull the right knee into the chest and let the left toes come long down the mat. Just giving that right knee a hug. And then use the left hand to guide the knee across the body. Right arm comes out long and the gaze falls to the right side, finding a supine twist. Inhale and open mouth, exhale. Great job. One more deep breath in. And exhale, pull the right knee back into the chest and release the right toes, switching to the other side. Left knee comes into the chest. Give it a tight hug here. Use the right hand to guide the knee across the body. Left arm opens up long and the gaze falls to the left. Finding your twist on the opposite side. Opening up through the chest. Inhale and exhale, allowing that knee to come a little bit heavier towards the mat. One more deep breath in and open mouth, exhale. Great job. Pull that knee back into the chest. Release the toes long and come onto the side of the body, finding a fetal posture. Bringing one hand above the head, resting the head on the bicep, and the opposite hand just comes gently into the mat, bending at the knees and closing the eyes. Taking a moment to be still here in this posture. Inhale and exhale. Slowly begin to press through that hand and rise up into a simple seated posture on your mat. Crossing at the ankles, hands coming onto the knees, and sitting up tall, reaching through the crown of the head. Inhale, reach the fingertips high, and exhale, hands to heart center. Bring the hands around the back, interlace the fingers, and reach through the knuckles, opening up the chest. Inhale. And exhale, drop the chin down into the chest and begin to slowly roll out the neck towards the right side. Beginning to open up through every side of the neck. Inhaling and exhaling, taking your time here. Using the breath to move you and open up those spaces, releasing tightness and tension found in the neck space. One more deep breath in, and exhale, take your rolls the opposite direction. Being gentle here. Inhale through the nose. Open mouth, exhale it out. Great job. One more deep breath in. And exhale, come back to center with the head. Rest the hands back onto the knees and draw the shoulders up towards the ears and back down, taking some shoulder rolls. Opening up through the chest and through the shoulder blades. Inhale and exhale, and then when you're ready, reverse those rolls, coming forward with the shoulders. Getting some movement in the upper back. Inhale and exhale. Come back to center. Inhale, sit up a little bit taller, and exhale, take a twist over the right shoulder. Bringing the gaze towards the back. Inhale, lengthening through the spine. Exhale, twisting. Great job. Inhale, come back to center. And exhale, take your twist to the other side. Right hand coming to the left knee and gaze coming towards the back. Inhale, sit up a little bit taller. Exhale, twist a little bit deeper. Inhale, come back to center. And exhale, release the right leg down the mat, and the left foot is just going to be placed in that right thigh, finding a figure 4 with the legs. Squaring off the hips and shoulders. Inhale, reach the fingertips high. And exhale, slowly start to hinge at the hips and reach the fingertips forward. And then coming down into a fold, grabbing onto the shin or the ankle or the toes. Maybe resting your head on a block if that feels good here. But wherever you're at in your fold, close the eyes and let's focus in on the breath, opening up that right hamstring. Inhale and exhale. Drawing that deep breath into the back of that right leg. Inhale. Open mouth, exhale, and see if you can bring that chest just a little bit closer down towards the leg. One more deep breath in. And exhale, slowly roll back up to center. And we're going to place the left hand behind the hips. Begin to point through the right toes and then lift the hips high, coming into a modified wild thing pose. Reaching through the right fingertips. Open up the chest towards the sky and release the head back slightly. Inhale, extending here all the way from the toes to the fingers. Exhale, holding here for one more deep breath in. And exhale, slowly bring the hips back onto the mat. And let's take one more fold over that right leg. Inhale, half lift. And exhale, fold down. Great job. Come back to center and let's switch out the legs. So the left foot comes down the mat and the right foot comes into the left thigh, squaring off the hips and shoulders. Inhale, reach the fingertips high. And exhale, slowly hinging at the hips, reaching those fingertips forward. And then coming into your forward fold, letting the chest come low down towards the leg. Again, grabbing onto the shin or the ankle or the toe, and maybe resting on a block or maybe just letting the head reach towards the toes. Close the eyes and let's breathe here. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, opening up the back of that left leg. And exhale, coming a little bit deeper into this stretch. One more deep breath in. And exhale, rise back up to center. Plant that right hand behind the hips and swing the left fingertips around, opening up through the chest, letting that head release back and come into your modified wild thing pose. Inhale, extending and reaching through the fingertips. Open mouth, exhale. Take one more deep breath here in this pose. And exhale, gently release the hips back down and take one last fold over that left leg. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, come back to center. And exhale, swing the feet around and come onto all fours for a tabletop position. Hands coming under the shoulders, knees under the hips, and draw the belly button in towards the spine, getting a flat back here in your tabletop. And let's begin to warm up the spine with cat-cow. So as you inhale, reach the gaze high and the tailbone high, dropping the chest low in your cow pose. Exhale, arch through the spine, draw the chin in towards the chest, and find your cat pose. Inhale back to cow, opening up the front of the body. And exhale, arch through the spine, opening through the back of the body. Go ahead and take this flow from one posture to the next with your own breath at your own pace. Moving slowly from one to the next, from your cat to your cow. Inhale and exhale. And then coming back to center, place the left hand in the center of the mat. Inhale, reach the right fingertips high. And exhale, send that right arm under the body and over to the left for thread the needle posture. Resting the right shoulder down, gaze coming under that left arm. Close the eyes and let's breathe into this twist. Inhale and exhale. Allowing the body to surrender a little bit heavier into this pose with every breath. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling out through the mouth. Take one more deep breath here. And exhale, plant the left hand under the shoulder, right hand under the shoulder, and rise back up into tabletop pose. And let's take our thread the needle on the opposite side. Right hand coming into the center of the mat. Left fingertips reach high, open up the chest. And then exhale, send that left hand underneath the body and over to the right, dropping the left shoulder down, resting the head on the mat and closing the eyes. Inhaling into this twist. Exhale, release it out. Being present here in this posture, feeling the muscles start to relax. Inhale and exhale. Great job. One more deep breath here in your thread the needle posture. And exhale, plant the hands back under the shoulders, rise back up into tabletop. And then walk the hands about a handprint in front of where they are. Drop the shoulders down, keeping the hips high, and find puppy pose. Opening up through the chest and shoulders, through the torso, spreading the fingertips wide. Inhale. And exhale. One more deep breath in. And exhale, slowly begin to roll onto the forearms, dropping the hips down. Come into your Sphinx pose. So lifting the chest away from the mat and the crown of the head towards the sky. Drop the shoulders down and away from the ears. Inhale. Open mouth, exhale it out. This is a really great stretch on our core muscles. Take one more deep cleansing breath in this posture. Inhale. And exhale, release the left cheek down onto the mat. Bending the elbows, coming into cactus arms. And slowly draw the right knee up to the right elbow, opening up through the right hip. And let's just close the eyes and breathe into this restorative posture, letting our bodies be heavy in the mat and let our muscles start to relax, using our breath to slow down the mind, to take time here in this posture to just be still, be present. Inhale and exhale. One more deep breath here in this posture. Inhale through the nose and open mouth, exhale it out. Plant the hands under the shoulders, and we're going to move that right knee over towards the left hand, opening up the hips towards the left, and then slowly beginning to fold down, coming into a little bit of a twist while resting in this posture. Close the eyes, and again, let's just focus in on the breath while we rest here. Inhale and exhale, coming a little bit heavier into this posture. One more deep breath in and exhale. Plant the hands under the shoulders, bring the right toes back down the mat. Come into a baby cobra, so just lifting the chest slightly away from the mat, and slowly drop the right cheek down onto the mat, finding your cactus arms, and again pulling that left knee up towards the left elbow, closing the eyes and finding the still posture, tuning into the breath and letting the body come heavy into the mat. Inhale and exhale, breathing into that left hip. Inhale and exhale. Plant the hands under the shoulders. Bring that left knee over to the right hand, opening up the hips towards the right, and then slowly coming down onto the chest, resting the head on the forearms and closing the eyes in this twist. Breathing in and slowly breathing out. Letting the muscles begin to relax in this posture. Inhale and exhale. When you're ready, slowly plant the hands under the shoulders, lift the chest away from the mat, and swing the feet around, coming to seated on our mat. planting the feet in front of you, and give those knees a hug. Inhale, and slowly release the back all the way down, drawing those knees into the chest again, and maybe taking that rock from side to side if that feels good. And whenever you're ready, we're going to move into our final posture in Supta Baddha Konasana, bringing the soles of the feet together and the knees coming out wide, maybe resting on a block or a blanket, or maybe just letting them fall down towards the mat. Maybe the hands are down by the sides, maybe they're resting on the knees, or maybe taking one hand to the chest and one hand to the belly. Close the eyes and find that deep breath. If at any point this becomes uncomfortable and you'd rather be in a Shavasana or corpse pose, feel free to take that. But as we close out our practice, I want to leave you with 3 questions to let your heart rest on today, maybe spending some time in prayer or journaling about these questions. Do you believe that God has given a purpose for your life and that He wants to use you to make an impact in this world? Have you experienced obstacles in your journey of walking out this purpose? How can you fix your eyes on Jesus today and allow Him to help you stay the course even when it becomes difficult? God, thank you for calling us to a beautiful purpose. Thank you for all that you have planned for our lives. And Lord, help us to follow you in every step of it. Help us to trust you with every detail. And God, when the obstacle comes, as you've promised they will you help us to stay the course, to keep our eyes fixed on you who has overcome everything, and to press through and walk with you. Give us strength, give us faith and endurance, and help us to see what you're wanting to do through our lives, that you have amazing plans in store for us, Lord. We need you. We love you, and it's in your name that we pray. Amen. Thank you so much for joining me today on your mat, and I look forward to seeing you next time.